Welcome to the People Chronicles. I'm Jackie Hoffman, and today we're joined by Kyle Lord, who has a story to tell, and you are going to be able to help. We're going to tell you how. Kyle, first of all, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Now, what would you like our listeners and viewers to learn from your story today?
No matter what life throws at you, you can pick yourself up, start over, and create the new you.
And this is a story that started in 1997?
98.
98. Okay, I was a year off.
That's
but
okay.
It's still going back a bit, and you're going to tell us what happened and how you got yourself back on your feet to do what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
In 1998, my son joined the National Guard. And about 6 months after that, I was injured in a work accident. And it turns out that it was a spinal cord injury, so I will never be able to hold down the kind of job I had before. I was kind of a go-getter, 60 hours a week, always running, single mom. I just raised my kids and went to work. And that was my focus, and I was happy. But then when I couldn't work anymore, I had to figure out how I was going to survive. When you're a type A personality, sitting in a chair is not the answer, and it makes you a little crazy. So I had to figure out who the new me was and exactly what I was going to be doing.
Now, how did you take those steps to get to that part of your life? And, did you have help? Did someone
Yes.
say, okay? Because
Yes.
I knew this couldn't have been done on your own.
Yes, I'm kind of a bullhead, so I fought it for a long time. But I got hooked up with Dr. Cheadle at Reading Hospital, who has a program that's behavioral medicine that teaches you how to deal with chronic pain issues in different ways. So I don't always have to have pills. I have a spinal cord stimulator for pain management, and I use a minimum number of pills for considering the RSD and how advanced it is in my system. I don't like to be medicated, so he taught me biofeedback and creative visualization and other ways to cope with the pain. But along with that, I had to figure out what I was going to do, because now I can cope with the pain, but I can't work. I can't punch a time clock because I'm still out in space sometimes. And so after 9/11, my son's unit was called up. And I had sat in a chair and taught myself a little bit of computer programming, enough to build a pretty basic website. And I decided that when my son's unit left, I was going to make a website so that we could all keep informed about what was going on. And it turned out to be the new me.
Now, when you say all of you could see what was going on, was that just in your family, or who did you make that website for?
I actually made it for the family support group for his entire unit.
Okay.
So we were all trading pictures, and his commanding officer, where he was stationed, contacted me and started sending pictures from their base. And soon after that, he said there was other Pennsylvania units that were in other places, and he'd like to have some pictures of them on the website too. So it became a different photo album for each unit, and the people at home could see that the guys were okay, and we could put up pictures so they knew that we were all coping in the best way we could, and everybody was getting through this. It was the first set of deployments after 9/11, so it was kind of scary not knowing where everybody was going, what they were going to be doing. Their communications weren't set up. There weren't PXs. There was no place for anything. So as it grew and grew and grew, we had all the Pennsylvania units that were deployed in 2002. And then in 2003, when we went into Iraq, units from all over the country somehow managed to find the website and started asking for their own album. And they also started asking for the care packages, because once they were in Iraq, it was barren. There was no place for them to get even the basics, and we're talking like TP and socks and toothpaste. So
And how time consuming is this for you at that point? I mean, now you were talking about 60 hours. So how time consuming is this just for you to get all of these pictures from all of these soldiers?
Well, it took a while. I mean, I probably spent maybe 30 hours a week.
And that's what you wanted.
Yeah, and that was from the pictures at home, because the commanding officer, I gave him an administrator's password and let him upload the pictures that he could. Otherwise, he had to email them to me, and the internet was not good at that time, so it took a long time to get them uploaded.
So now you have what you're going to do, and you need a little help from other people, and you know that you can't do this alone, and it's a snowball, it's just a snowball effect. It just kept going and growing and getting bigger and better, and everybody starts liking what you're doing. And what is the website before we go any further?
KeystoneSoldiers.com.
KeystoneSoldiers.com, easy to remember. And how do you start looking out for help?
We are 100% volunteer, and we are 100% public donation funded. So I always say that we do our care packages $5 at a time. Every package we ship costs between $15 and $20 to ship, and the average donation that comes in is probably $10 or $25. So we literally are working $5 at a time. As the funds come in, we ship care packages. Currently, we have over 3,600 names on our list that are waiting for care packages and Christmas stockings. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's a lot, and you need a lot of help to do so. Now, Kyle, you talked about how long it took you to get to where you are right now and get yourself on your feet. Do you think it was just a matter of the doctor that had helped you out, or was it something else that was inside, or do you think that it was the fact knowing that you were helping these other people and these soldiers, a combination?
I think it's a combination. I always wanted to be a mother. And I always said I wanted 12 kids, so now I have a couple thousand instead of just 12. And it's more like I feel like I've adopted every one of them. I feel like I personally, as a military mom, would not want to be doing anything else. My kids are always the most important thing to me. And when you lose one to a combat zone instead of a college, you can't go see him on weekends, and you can't pick up the phone whenever you feel like it and call him. So it's nerve-wracking, and I needed something to focus on. And I honestly believe in a lot of ways that Keystone Soldiers is what kept my sanity, because I didn't have to dwell on him every minute because I was taking care of so many others. And I know that that's what I was meant to do.
So Kyle, while you're taking care of others, we're going to find out how all of you can help Kyle and those soldiers just in time for the holidays when we come back on the People Chronicles.